Nobody wants to talk about patience, and I get it because patience is not sexy. Patience does not have a before and after photo. You can't sell patience on a TikTok reel. You cannot go viral with a caption that says, Day 847 of being patient, things are coming along. Nobody double taps that. Nobody shares that. Nobody saves it. But I'm going to talk about it anyway today because patience, like the real kind, not the bullshit passive waiting around hoping something changes kind, but the real kind is the thing that separates the people who actually build something from the people who are perpetually almost building something. And I am tired of watching smart, gifted, called ass people confuse the two. And this is the thing about patience that I think everybody just coasts over. Patience is not the absence of action. Patience is the sustained presence of action without the immediate reward that your brain's demanding in exchange for the effort. It is doing the work when the work is not working yet. It is showing up on a Thursday with the same energy you had on Monday, even through Monday's effort. Maybe you haven't even produced anything you can see yet. You guys, patience is about trusting the process, and it's not because the process is comfortable. It's not. But you're going to trust the process because you understand what the process is actually doing underneath the surface where you just cannot see it yet. That is patience, and that is a skill. It is a learnable, buildable. It's you could use neuroplasticity to build this skill. It is a supported skill. And if you don't have it, you're going to keep starting shit that could have been extraordinary. And you're going to keep abandoning everything you try right before it's going to be amazing. Hey, you guys, welcome to the Listen Bitch podcast. I am Brandon Lynette, voice authority podcast coach. Your mess is your message. And today, I guess we're just going to talk about, the thing nobody in personal development wants to address because it doesn't sell courses and it does not generate clicks and it requires something of you that the quick fix microwave mentality bullshit economy has specifically trained you to be allergic to. That's what's happening. Patience, specifically, the kind that moves the needle a little bit every single day instead of waiting for the big event or the big breakthrough, that's going to change everything overnight. Because here's the truth. The big breakthrough does not come for people who are waiting for the big breakthrough. It comes for the people who were so focused on the daily needle moving, okay, that the breakthrough arrived and they almost did not notice it because they were busy showing up again the next day. That is the person I am trying to build you into. Every episode we've done in this rebellion season, I am trying to build you into the person who is in the process with the patience. I don't want you to be someone who has a great week. I want you to be someone who is genuinely better today than they were yesterday. And tomorrow better than today. Every single day. That is the only metric that actually matters. And patience is the engine. And before we go into that, today is obviously brought to you by Super Patch. Today we're going to talk about focus. Where's my baby? Focus today. Because patience without focus is just waiting. You're just waiting. And waiting is the thing I'm trying to get you out of. You've been waiting till you're ready, waiting till it's better, waiting for it to be perfect, waiting, and then you're dead. Focus patch is what I reach for when I need to stay locked in on the one thing that matters without my attention off it. It's enhanced focus, it's attention, it's clarity, it's memory, it is drug free, zero ingredients. It is a vibrotactile technology. It's like Braille for your brain. It's telling your brain to stay in the lane. I do have the link in the show notes, so make sure you get resourced and stay in the lane, okay? Now, for the unglamorous, unsexy, entirely necessary thing that is standing between you and the life you keep talking about building. I'm Listen. I have been taking this oil and I've talked to you guys about this oil. I talk about it on my show. I take a shot a day, a shot of oil a day. And it has changed everything for me. I've been on the very unsexy journey of weight loss. And I've been in the weight loss industry for over a decade, over a decade of selling uh, weight loss products that force your body to lose weight. And I've always chased one, fat weight loss product that worked immediately after the other. I went through like six different products, two different companies. Actually, I tried three products from three different companies, and they all work until they don't. But I sold the fuck out of that stuff. You know why? Because I'm like, holy shit, you guys, I've been taking this for a week and I'm down 5 pounds. And that was true. But there was no lifestyle change. There was no consistency. There was nothing happening on a cellular level. I've been taking this oil patiently because I did the research and I've struggled with my weight my whole life, right? And it said literally, when your omegas are imbalanced, your cells cannot release fat. They can't. They can't do it. They're locked in. Nothing can get in. All those expensive supplements I was taking, nothing was getting into my body. Nothing gets into my body. And I'm wasting money on these supplements and nothing in, nothing out. I've been taking this oil for a while. First of all, my hair is growing like crazy. My skin's looking amazing. My nails grow super fast. And bitches, I'm losing weight because I'm patient. And guess what? I can't sell that fucking oil for the life of me to the same audience, the same people that have bought my weight loss. And nobody has bought. No, I think, a handful, maybe like 5 people. But I had a lot of people that bought weight loss products from me. And you know why these bitches aren't buying it? Because it's not overnight. It is me saying, take it for 6 months and it's going to change your life. That's it. And it's the same people who are chasing that immediate weight loss anyway. I'm on a calorie deficit, high protein, low calorie. I eat more than I would like to eat. I'm not used to eating so much food, but I eat the same fucking thing every day. And I have the patience for that. It's been I think like 4 solid months now, down 29 pounds, and it's not sexy and it's not fun. And I actually get stressed out. Like Sunday, I didn't eat my normal stuff. I could not wait for today because I know I eat my normal stuff. It's very unsexy, but if you have the patience, shit works. So it's just the process, right? It's falling in love with the process. It's like, I know this makes me feel good. I'm stewarding myself so I could be the best podcaster, so I could be the best podcast host. I can't show up for 6 or 7 interviews and podcast coaching. I can't show up for that all day if I'm run down, if I'm, not healthy, if I'm eating junk food, if I'm just bogged. So I've had the patience to commit to that. Okay. And I'll tell you, like, your brain hates patience. It was not built for the long game. It wasn't. And I have that understanding. I need you to understand that this is not as flaw, but it's a starting point. So I want you to think, oh, my brain is just jacked. But it's the fact that once you understand what you're working against, you can actually work with it instead of fighting it every time and you feel like you're losing. It's a losing system. And the brain has a system called the reward pathway. The reward pathway runs on the dopamine. And that's the chemical that produces the feeling of satisfaction, motivation, and pleasure. And the reward pathway is specifically calibrated for immediate rewards. And you guys, this is not because you're fucked up. It's not because you're a weak ass bitch, okay? It's because for most of human history, immediate rewards were the only kind that mattered, right? And if you hunted the animal, you ate today. If you planted the seed, you did not eat for months. The immediate reward was survival. The delayed reward was a nice idea. But what is the truth? We're not hunting animals anymore. We're building podcasts and businesses and we're building our callings and bitch, we're building our legacies. And none of that produces the dopamine hit of the kill on day one. And the brain, which is running the same reward calibration it ran 10, million years ago, 2,000 years ago, is looking at the work and it's saying, where's the reward? And when the reward does not arrive when we think it should, the brain starts generating the case for doing something else, something that will produce the dopamine hit faster. We're addicted to that. That's why you check the fucking metrics 40 minutes after posting. This is why the business that is not profitable in month 3 feels like it's a failed business instead of a building business. This is why the podcast that does not have 1,000 downloads in the first week feels like evidence that nobody gives a fuck instead of evidence that you're at the beginning of something. Your brain is running the wrong reward timeline for the thing you're trying to build. And when it comes to neuroplasticity, and I'm going to tell you guys about this every chance I get, this means that you can update the timeline. And it's not by suppressing the reward response, it's by training the brain to find the reward in the process itself rather than exclusively in the outcome. Every day you show up and do the work that you can't even see visible results yet, the work that the metrics are not confirming, the work that requires you to trust the process without the process giving you any evidence that this is working. Every single one of these days, if you consciously acknowledge what you did and why it matters, you're building the neural pathway for delayed gratification. You are training the brain that the process itself is the fucking reward. And over time, no, it's not immediate because nothing good is immediate. You fucking know this too. That is literally the whole point of this episode. The brain starts to believe it and the patience becomes more natural. And then the showing up is just fucking automatic. And the thing you're building has the sustained input it needs to actually become the thing. That's it. And I want to make the distinction clear because if I don't, half of you are going to use this episode as permission to sit on your fucking hands and call it patience. And you know I'm not going to tolerate that. It's bullshit. Patience is not the same as waiting. Patience is not the absence of urgency. Patience is not the comfortable acceptance of where you are as a permanent destination. That's being passive. That's fucked. That's the thing the fear wants you to call patience so it can keep you comfortable and small and exactly where you are indefinitely. Are you in a different place today than you were in a year ago? Time's going to pass anyway. Where are you going to be next year? Real patience. Real patience looks like this. You know the destination. You know the direction. You're moving toward it every single day. Not every other day, not when you feel like it, not when the conditions are perfect. Every fucking day. One thing. Did I say 100 things? Did I say 5 things? One thing. The smallest possible version of continuing. And you are not checking the outcome obsessively. And it's not because you don't care about the outcome. We fucking love the outcome. We're excited. But this is because you understand that your job is the input and God's job is the output. And confusing those two jurisdictions is how people drive themselves crazy and abandon the shit that they were working on before they had the chance to actually work. I mean, imagine you plant a tomato and every single day for 2 weeks you dig it up to see if it's growing. We know it's not going to fucking grow. And it's not because the seed is bad. It's because you keep interrupting the process. Because you cannot hold the patience long enough to let the thing that is supposed to happen underground actually happen before you demand the evidence above the ground. That is you. That's you with the podcast. That's you with the business. That's you with your content strategy. You keep digging up the tomato every 48 hours and then you're like, why is there no fruit? Put the seed in the ground. Water it. Walk away. Come back tomorrow. Water it again. The fruit is coming, but only if you leave the damn seed in the ground. Okay? And once you see how obvious it is, how profitable it is for these fucked up systems, they have invested billions in making sure you do not see the truth in this. The entire consumer economy runs on impatience. Tell me I'm lying. How many times have you scrolled on your phone today? How many times have you thought about a shortcut product? I'm waiting. Every product is a shortcut now. Every service is a faster version of something you could have done yourself. Every supplement, every program, every course, every app is selling you the result without the process. The result now, the transformation immediately. That six pack in 6 weeks. Okay. The healed trauma in one weekend retreat. And bitch, you're buying it. Not because you're stupid. I mean, some of you, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But really, it's because the impatience is real and the promise is appealing and the alternative. The patient, unglamorous, nobody takes a picture of this daily kind of work does not have a marketing budget. There is not one. Big tech? Oh, baby, they made it worse. The algorithm trained you to expect immediate response to everything you put out. You post and you get the metric in real time. You launch, you see the numbers today. You say the thing, you know immediately how many people responded. That real time feedback loop has calibrated your brain to expect immediate confirmation for everything. And I fell for this. Bitches, I'm telling you, I deleted Facebook because I am tired. It is a very toxic relationship. I'm tired of the doom scrolling. I'm tired of giving a fuck if someone commented. I left a message today. I'm like, hey, I deleted it. My messenger's open. It's still on my phone. You want to get access to me? You need to say something about what I posted. You're gonna message me. Just fucking message me because I'm tired of caring about that metric. So the best thing for me, the healthy, productive thing, get that shit off of my phone. I could come on my MacBook. I can check notifications. 4 days a week I check it, Tuesday through Friday, unless I for some reason am batching, videos on my computer. That's it. I had to separate myself from that process, and I knew that. I was radically honest with myself, called myself out on the bullshit, and let it go. If we don't need the immediate confirmation, we don't need confirmation at all. When the thing you are building does not produce that immediate confirmation, because real shit does not. Your brain just fucking says, okay, something's wrong. Babe, nothing is wrong. The algorithm just taught you to expect something the real world does not deliver. And the real world, the one where businesses grow over years, relationships deepen over decades, callings unfold over a lifetime. It appears on a completely different timeline from the one the algorithm normalized. And the mismatch between the expected timeline and the real one is producing an epidemic of abandonment. People leaving things that were working before they had a chance to work. Starting over instead of staying in and digging up the tomato. I don't say this from a place of judgment. I don't say this from a motherfucking high horse. I say this because I've done it my whole life. Now I know the game, bitch, and I play differently, and I'm helping you do the same. 2 years, I built shit that people couldn't see. And it's not because nothing was happening, it's because what was happening was underground. This framework for everything I'm doing, my relationship with Christ, all of this, refining this in this moment every single day. It's not sexy. I didn't talk about it. My voice was being developed. The clarity about who I was supposed to reach and what I was supposed to say, it's getting sharper through the repetition of doing things imperfect and learning from it. 2 years of work that the metrics could not confirm if I'd been checking. 2 years of the tomato being in the ground. And I'll be honest, I mean, you guys, there were months in those 2 years where the impatience is louder than conviction. It still happens now, where the lack of visible proof really felt like the absence of progress. Like, where am I going? The gap between where I was and where I wanted to be felt like evidence that I was wrong about the calling, and instead of evidence that the calling was still forming. But I dug deep this time, and I'm telling you, the foundation for me is that I put my roots in Jesus. I every single day get with him, I check with him, I clarify, like, is this what we're doing? Whether I agree with him or not, and sometimes I don't. I'm like, no, I don't think you're not asking me to do that. And sure enough, sure as shit, it's me. Planting in that soil has changed everything for me. That's one thing that kept me in it. And then there is this, like, a non-negotiable for me. It's not a strategy. It's not a framework. It is that conversation. It is that conversation that happened with God in a season that was so still and quiet that I thought I never had a chance of going anywhere. And I never got confirmation of like, you're almost there. Never. He's never just been like, you're almost there. You're almost there. All I get to hear on this journey and the thing that keeps me going on that metric, keep going. That's it. That's all I hear. That's all I get. Keep going. There are no other words. There is no other timeline. There's no other confirmation. There's no other visible proof. It is just keep going. That is the patience of faith. Not knowing the timeline, but trusting the person who does. And I move deliberately every single day in the direction of the thing anyway, because better today than yesterday. It's in the guidebook, it's in the Bible, because better tomorrow than today. Because the compound interest of consistent daily movement toward the thing is the only way the thing actually gets built. I kept going. The thing got built. You're listening to it right now. It's built. I had this interview with this lady the other day. She started her podcast and she got 14 downloads on the first episode. 14. And she knew 11 of the people she knew them personally. And what's the truth? She could have stopped. Most people would have stopped. 14 downloads in the algorithm economy feels like a verdict, right? It's like the jury came back and the verdict was womp womp. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody wants to hear you. She did not stop. She kept going. Same energy on episode 20 as she brought to episode 1. Same quality, same showing up. And around episode 40, okay, because when I tell people when they start a podcast, you guys, non-negotiable, you have to do 50. At least 50, don't fucking quit. Okay? She didn't do anything different because she'd been doing the same thing for long enough that it started to compound. One person shared it, the right person heard it, the right person shared it to their audience, and the downloads went from 14 to 1,400 in a week. In a week. No, bitch, she did not go viral. We don't play that game here. She did not go viral. She went patient, and patient, sustained, long enough produced the same results that viral promises and rarely delivers. 14 downloads. She kept going. And that's what I want you to get from this is that you should too. And Jesus, are you kidding me? He waited 30 years. 30 years before the ministry, before the miracles, before any of it that we talk about, before any of it. The feeding of the 5,000, the walking on water, the raising of Lazarus. There were 33 years of being a carpenter in Nazareth. 30 years of a calling that the world had no idea was coming. 30 years of what looked like an ordinary life from the outside. And then 3 years that changed everything for all of us forever. The 30 years were not wasted. They were not delay. They were the preparation that made the 3 years possible. The patience that formed the person who could carry the weight of what the 3 years required. And if he had not stayed in the 30, if he tried to skip the process, to shortcut the formation, to get to the ministry before the person was ready to carry it, none of the shit works. None of it. The fruit requires the roots, and the roots require the patience of the underground season where nobody is watching and nothing looks like anything is happening. Maybe you are in your 30 years. Maybe you are at year 1. Maybe you are at year 27 and the ministry is closer than it's ever been, but either way, the underground work is the work. The patience is not the obstacle to the thing. It's how the thing actually gets built. You guys, if this episode is speaking to you and I've called you out in the season you're in, the underground season, nobody can see shit you're doing, the keep going season, do me a favor and share this show with one person who is there with you, the one who is about to quit something that was working before it had the chance to work. They need this today. And then I need you to subscribe and leave a review. Stars are cute, but it takes less than 3 minutes to write some words, okay? That is the most patient thing I can ask of you, a very selfless thing I can ask of you, and one of the most useful things you could do. Because whether or not this is speaking to you, you might have access to the one person I wrote this show for today. And I want to talk to you about something real that actually happened. Okay. Very simple. I'm a Christian. I believe Christ is king and I believe he is the way and the truth and the life. And I do not say that as a tagline or a branding moment. I say it because it is the most true thing I know. And because this whole season, every episode we've come through, every conversation, every piece of work I'm putting out comes from that foundation. I don't see it possibly working for anybody without it. It definitely didn't work for me. And this is the thing I want to say to you specifically about the patience, the impatience that you're feeling, the urgency. You constantly saying, like, why is this taking so long? Or you telling yourself, I should be further. That is a trust issue as much as it is a brain issue. Because when you genuinely trust that God has the timeline, the impatience loses some of its grip. Not all of it because you're still human. You're still running the ancient reward pathway. You're still going to check the metrics. But the panic underneath the impatience, that terror of what it means if this doesn't work, that gets quieter when your foundation is right. I'm not asking you to be passive. I'm not asking you to sit back and let God do everything while you wait on the couch. You have to go first. I the Red Sea didn't part until he took the first step. I'm asking you to move every single day in the direction of the calling and trust that the outcome is handled. Just do the work and release the timeline, both simultaneously. That is the faith and that is the neuroplasticity gift that we've been given working together. And it is the most powerful combination available to a human being. And maybe you don't know Jesus. If maybe this is the first time someone has even said his name on a podcast you're listening to and it landed somewhere, I want you to know that the invitation is open. Not to religion. I don't do soft Christianity, not to the performance, but to the relationship. It's a very private thing between you and him to that specific available right now relationship with the God who made you and knows the timeline of your calling and is not panicking about where you are in it. He is the thing under the patience, and he is worth finding. I'm only going to give you, the only action step that really matters this day, this episode is the one. Again, I'm saying one, not 100. Pick the one thing you have been almost quitting and commit to it for 30 more days. Bitch, I did not say forever. Okay. I said 30 days. I just realized I did the okay that I think my husband said is annoying. So now I need him to listen to the show and tell me. I do okay. Okay. I don't know. I think I just did it. That's hilarious. 30 days. The tomato seeds need 30 days in the ground before you have any business digging it up. 30 days of daily, consistent, non negotiable, unsexy, mundane input into the thing. No checking the outcome every 48 hours. No comparing where you are to where someone else is. Just the work every day for 30 days. And on day 30, look at where you are compared to day one. I do not compare yourself to where you want to be. I want you to compare it to where you started because the only fair comparison for your progress is your own starting point. And I promise you that if you stayed in it for 30 days with real daily effort, day 30 looks different than day one. Maybe not viral different, but that's not the life we're going for, baby. Maybe not 1,000 downloads different, but different, better, further. And better and further every day is the whole point. Better today than yesterday. Better tomorrow than today. That's the metric. That's the only metric that actually builds the life. You've been waiting for this big event, this big moment, the thing that is going to change everything, the breakthrough that finally makes it real. And I love you enough to tell you straight. Big moment doesn't come for people who are waiting for the big moment. It comes for people who were so committed to the daily small moment that the big one arrived when they were busy showing up again. 14 downloads became 1,400. 30 years of obscurity became 3 years that changed the entire world. And 2 years of underground work became the thing you're listening to now. None of it looked like anything from the outside. All of it's happening from the inside. Patient, daily, needle moving, unsexy as hell, absolutely worth it. You are better today than you were when this episode started. That's not nothing. That's the whole thing. Do one thing today that moves the needle, one real thing. Post the episode, send the email, record the thing, have the conversation, take the step. Be 1 degree better today than you were yesterday. And then you just wake up and do it again tomorrow and the day after. And then you never stop. I help people build the podcast that carries the message that the patient daily work produces, not the overnight version, the real version, the one that is built on consistent showing up and the genuine story and the very God-given specific voice that only comes from someone who stayed in it long enough for the real thing to emerge. If you're ready to build the real thing, please check the show notes. Come work with me. Tell me where you are. I double dog dare you if you haven't already. Come be a guest on Listen Bitch Presents. Tell me what makes you special. I know you have a story. Let's turn your mess into your message and keep going. God has the timeline, you have the work. Your business is to do the work.